7 signs that God is closing the wrong door for you. Have you ever felt stuck in a situation, like no matter how hard you try, you can't get closer to a certain person, or the opportunity you've been chasing always slips away, or you keep hitting walls in the direction you want to pursue? Before you blame your bad luck, this could very well be God closing the wrong door for you. Today, I want to share 7 signs that commonly happen in real life. Behind each one is His protection. I will also tell you what consequences you might face if you try to force these doors open, helping you see more clearly where to stop and where to go. Sign 1. The harder you try, the more futile it feels. Have you had this kind of experience? You care deeply about someone, initiating conversations and making plans, but they are always dismissive or make excuses. You really want to fit into a certain group, deliberately imitating how they talk and act, but you always feel like an outsider. You're very persistent about a goal, constantly figuring out how to move forward, but you're always missing something or hit a snag at every step. It's not that you're not good enough, it's that this door was never meant for you. If someone knows the other person doesn't love them, but insists on getting married, only to end up in constant cold wars, turning life into agony, or if they force themselves into an unsuitable circle, saying things they don't mean, doing things they don't want to do, only to end up being seen as dispensable, or if they exhaust their time and energy for an unrealistic idea, achieving nothing in the end, with their confidence shattered. God letting you not grasp it is actually wanting you to cut your losses in time. If you insist on forcing it, you'll only get trapped in a cycle of people-pleasing and internal drain, ending up wounded. God never lets people force their way onto the wrong path. Like the Israelites in the Bible who wanted to return to Egypt, they were always blocked by the Red Sea or the wilderness. It wasn't God making things difficult for them, but Him fearing they would fall back into slavery. When you feel it's especially hard, maybe it's time to stop. Sign 2. The people around you are all throwing cold water. Not every word needs to be heeded, but if the people who love you and understand you, like your parents, brothers and sisters from church, long-time good friends, are all advising you to think again, it's likely God using them to remind you. For example, you want to commit to a relationship, your parents say, your personalities are too different, you'll argue easily later. A sister from church says, I feel he isn't sincere enough with you. You want to work with someone, a friend says, he was unreliable before, don't get hurt. The pastor says, wait first, don't be in a hurry to decide. These words might not be pleasant to hear, but they aren't intentionally blocking you. If you don't listen to the advice and insist on following your own thoughts, someone didn't listen to their parents' advice, insisted on marrying someone with bad habits. Later, the other person didn't change and dragged the whole family down. Someone insisted on following an unreliable person after being cheated, wanted to turn to friends for help, but because they didn't listen, made those who cared about them lose heart. God allows this cold water to appear so you don't charge ahead with your eyes closed. If you force this door open, you might find yourself in an isolated and helpless situation. God never lets us make choices alone. He places clear-minded people around us. Like when Nehemiah was rebuilding the wall, people around him reminded him that the enemy's invitation is a trap, helping him avoid danger. If many people are not optimistic about the path you're taking, don't rush to refute. Calm down and think, are the issues they're pointing out the ones you've been deliberately ignoring? Sign 3. When doing this thing, you always feel uneasy inside. Do you have this feeling? Something seems fine on the surface. The person you want to befriend doesn't have obvious character flaws. The thing you want to do doesn't violate your faith. Every time you're about to move forward, you feel a bit panicky inside, like something's missing. Lying down at night thinking about it, you can't sleep, turning it over and over in your mind. Or even when praying, the moment you think about it, you feel you can't bring it up. Lacking the confidence to ask God to lead. This uneasiness isn't you being timid, it's the Holy Spirit reminding you. If someone feels uneasy but still invests in a project, resulting in losing their money, blaming themselves daily, or someone feels insecure about a relationship but insists on committing, always afraid the other person will suddenly change their mind during the relationship. Even if nothing happens temporarily, they always feel unstable, can't eat or sleep well. When problems finally arise, they can't help but think, if only I had listened to that inner voice. The inner uneasiness is actually God telling you, there is risk here. If you ignore this peace, you'll only spiral in anxiety and regret. surrounded by negative emotions. God never lets us blunder ahead in confusion. When you feel panicky doing something, it's time to stop. Sign 4, even if it succeeds, problems quickly arise. Have you tried finally getting together with someone you like, but not long after, arguments and conflicts start? Finally joining the team you wanted, only to find infighting once inside, things completely different from what you imagined, launching a plan, but soon encountering funding issues or partners dropping the ball, making it harder and harder. This isn't bad luck, it's that this door should never have been opened. Someone knew the team atmosphere was bad but insisted on joining, ended up not learning anything, got backstabbed, had to resign, and was left with a shadow over work. Someone knew they were incompatible with the person they liked, but insisted on being together, ending up in cold wars or breaking up bitterly. Someone forcibly launched a flawed plan, could only constantly rob Peter to pay Paul, still had to give up in the end, wasting time and energy. The wrong door, even if forced open, won't bring blessing, only a mess to clean up. If you stubbornly refuse to exit, you'll only sink deeper into trouble, ending in a disgraceful situation. Saul in the Bible disobeyed God's command and seized the plunder, seemed to have gained, but soon lost his kingship and lived in jealousy. The wrong door never brings lasting benefit. Stop trying hard to remedy it. When it's time to stop, you have to stop. Sign 5, after it falls through, you realize, luckily it didn't work out. Often when something ends, you feel sad, but looking back after a while, you can't help but feel glad. Luckily it didn't work out. Example, you didn't pass the interview at a company, later heard that company frequently lays off employees. Pressure is so high people break down. The apartment you wanted to rent fell through, later found out it leaks and isn't safe. The person you wanted to collaborate with changed their mind last minute, later discovered they were deep in debt, almost dragging others down with them. These luckily moments aren't coincidences. It's God having already blocked the pit for you. If someone didn't manage to rent that problematic apartment but pulled strings to get it, ended up with water damage ruining furniture within 2 months, and argued with the landlord, someone didn't pass the interview at the problematic company but used connections to get in, ended up jobless not long after, having to search for work, insisted on collaborating with the indebted person, not only didn't make money but got dragged down, burdened with unnecessary trouble. God letting it not work out is protecting you. If you insist on making it happen, you'll jump into a preset trap with your own hands, suffering losses that could have been avoided. Like David wanted to hide in Gath, felt sorry he couldn't, but later learned the Gittites were Saul's allies hiding that would have meant capture. Don't be sad about losses anymore. Those opportunities you didn't grasp, those people you couldn't keep, might have been the fire pits God helped you avoid. Sign 6. To achieve this thing, you start losing yourself. Have you noticed that to achieve something, you gradually start compromising? Wanting to be with someone, you learn to say what they want to hear, even if it goes against your principles. Wanting to accomplish something, you start calculating, what can I gain? Losing your original aspiration. Wanting to fit into a circle, you follow others in saying things you shouldn't, doing things you shouldn't, even though you know it's wrong inside. When you start losing yourself for something,